Good morning, traders. Welcome to the live trading room. I hope you all had a wonderful day. Let's get started. I know we've got the pound pairs interest rate decision in about 3 hours. That will be at 1 p.m. my time. It will be 11 a.m. GMT. But let's first look at this setup here. We've got a setup on Euro US dollar. It is in the blue box. You can actually buy this from right now. Use 2% risk from the blue box. Remember the exact structure that we explained yesterday. I was watching yesterday's video and it's exactly as we explained it. So let me just do a recap here. So this is where we were yesterday. I'm just playing yesterday's video. I hope you are following this. So let's have a look here. So this is Euro US dollar yesterday. It looked like it was coming down, but we could see that the structure was incomplete. So we expected Euro US dollar to make a small push, a small move to the downside, and a bigger one to the upside in anticipation of that bigger one to the upside. Look at that structure. Okay, so this is how the market played out. We had that small move to the downside. We had that bounce to the upside. We had this move to the downside. And as I said, this is building a corrective structure. So we are not interested in anything that happens here. All we look at is how the structure is building up so that we can look for a trade setup, because you don't want to trade corrections or inside the correction, especially in the 4 hour or the 1 hour. You can see that this was on the 1 hour. So this is our buy area. We have now gotten up to this blue box. Okay. Look at the number of moves that have played out before we got into the blue box. Okay, we've got a number of moves, 1, 2, 3. Now we are looking to trade this one, which we are expecting to be a move to continue to the upside from the blue box. That's where we are currently on Euro US dollar, and that is the move that we are expecting. All right, so that was the analysis yesterday, and we are now taking, I've already taken a trade here now from the blue box because that is what I have been waiting for. If you remember, just 1 second here, let me show you the structure, the chart that we've seen. You've got the chart here on the 4 hour. So let's have a look at that chart on the 4 hour on Euro US dollar. Let's have a look at that 4 hour chart on Euro US dollar. Just a second, should come now. Europe US dollar pairs. Let's have a look at the US dollar pairs. So this is the chart that we are looking at. So we are looking at this. All right, this is the move that we are looking at right now on Euro US dollar. Yesterday we focused on this corrective structure. We know that that move in the B wave is not a straight line. We know that that's going to make 3 waves. Okay, so, and we know that we are not going to trade the correction unless you've taken the trade right here at the bottom, expecting it to get to the 50, 60, 61% here, that's fine. But if you didn't and you wanted to get a trade here, you needed to understand this correction here. So this is where the focus was yesterday. We analyzed that correction for a move to the upside. That has not played out as yet, but we are structurally in the blue box, and this is what we expect on Euro US dollar. Is that going to play out? Let's have a look here on the indicators. The indicators are still a little bit below 50, but I'm going to go, I've already gone aggressive on this one. Okay, so this is very close to 50%. So all we want to see is this continuing to push to the upside. All right, so that's what we have on Euro US dollar. Let's go through all the US dollar pairs. So the DXY, exactly as we explained it yesterday. This is what we looked at yesterday. The DXY was here. It was breaking out with this candle here. Don't look at this long one here. The next candle here, this is what we looked at. We looked for this to come around this level and for this to come back down here and for it to push up higher. So those are 2 moves. It's actually clearer on the 1 hour on the DXY. So I want to see how we look at the market and what we are looking to trade. We're not looking to trade any move just because we know the direction. Yesterday, we forecasted that this was going to push up here. Check this top. You can watch yesterday's video exactly as we forecasted. That we're going to come back down here. We did. And that we're going to make a move to the upside here. We did. But did we trade this? Okay, I did not trade that even if I knew the direction. I did not trade this even if I knew the direction. Why? Because I'm looking to trade with the trend. I'm looking to trade with the trend. So this is what I'm looking for here, even on Euro US dollar. I'm looking for this to make a continuation pattern to the downside. So that is the DXY and the Euro, and that's what we're looking at. Pound US dollar. So looking at pound US dollar yesterday, I expected pound US dollar to make this move here, to make one more down here and then push to the upside. Now talking about pound, we've got the rate announcement, the interest rate announcement this afternoon that is affecting the GBP. So how do we look at the market? Let's have a look here. So structurally, this does not look very clean. So this is what we would expect. Good morning, welcome everybody. Okay, so this is what we would expect here on pound. Let's have a look at both the indicator and what the structure looks like. I wanted to see a structure like this on pound US dollar. So we are still bullish on pound. So why were we looking for this corrective structure? Because we already have this pulse move to the upside. We're looking for a correction to continue to the move to the upside. Will we get this? If you look at this, we've got 1, 2, 3 down. Let me remove the lines there. We've got 3 waves down. We've got 3 waves to the upside. Is it going to give us 1, 2, 3 down? And then we push to the upside. That will give us a WXY corrective structure. So even if I see pound US dollar coming down, I'm not looking to trade that downside. I'll be looking to get a move to the upside. But there is also a possibility that we do not necessarily get this move to the downside. So if you do not get that move to the downside, then you will not, we won't get an opportunity to trade it. But either way, this should be now. So the reason why I don't like this is because structurally, this is a structure that does not exist within the wave theory. So we cannot even call this one a flat because it did not retrace to 90%. So I would have preferred to see this one come down here, and then make a move to the upside. So we've got about 2-3 hours for us to see how the market is going to react to the news this afternoon. Okay, so let's see. This is the structure that I would like to see. Otherwise, we can just push up higher from there. Okay, so that's what we're looking at on pound US dollar and Euro US dollar. As for the rest of the pairs, US dollar chief, I've already shown the structure on the DXY. You can just check it out there. So this is now US dollar chief. So US dollar chief, we wanted to see a 3-wave structure here and continuation to the downside. Okay, so we wanted to see a 3-wave pullback and continuation to the downside here on US dollar chief. So that is still the expectation. With the DXY falling the way it is, this may not even give us a pullback. We can just see this one pushing to the downside as follows. So as far as the indicator is concerned, we are at the top here. We've already resetted here. We are right at the 50 level here. So even if we do this, I'll expect US dollar chief to continue to the downside with the DXY. US dollar CAD, we've been looking for US dollar CAD. We looked at this to be a corrective structure here. We looked at this to be a corrective structure here and for this to continue lower. But yesterday, we even looked at the possibility of this being a diagonal. There's also a possibility of this being 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 here. And if that is a diagonal, that means we've got 1, 2. So this, if it's pushing to the upside, is not because of the US dollar in it. It will be possibly because of the CAD in it. Then we start seeing a move to the upside. Okay, so this will be internally 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Okay, so this is going against what we're analyzing as far as the US dollar pairs are concerned. So it is making a 3-wave pullback here. And if you look at the 1 hour here, it looks like we've already reset it and we are above 50 here. Can we see this make a move to the upside? Let's see how this goes here on US dollar CAD. We don't have enough confirmation there, so we'll stay out of that one for now. All right, so Audi US dollar, we are still looking for this to continue to the upside. Has not been going up with an impulse, but this should still continue to the upside here. So it has now made this 3-wave corrective structure here and still pushing to the upside. Okay, that is Audi US dollar New Zealand, continues to push up higher. It has made this pullback here. So let's have a look here, the bigger structure on the New Zealand. Let's look at the 4 hour. So the structure that we looked at on the New Zealand, the bigger structure is this here. It is this 1, 2, 3 zigzag here, and we're looking for this one to continue to the upside here. We did not reach the blue box on New Zealand, but that's fine. But we did reach the blue box on Audi US dollar. So we are looking for any continuation pattern to trade this to the upside. Just back on Audi on the 4 hour, so you can see the structure. So Audi, we are currently within this structure here. Will it be a diagonal or is it a continuation pattern for more downside? As it is now, let's have a look here on the 4 hour. So on the 4 hour on this, we are seeing continuation to the upside here, but it is not impulsive. It is not necessarily a confirming a diagonal. But let's see what we're going to get here. If it's going to be a diagonal, that means it's a leading diagonal, and then we're going to start seeing a move to the upside. But we're taking it one wave at a time. We will be monitoring that. Okay, so that is New Zealand. We've already gone through that. Let's look at US dollar yen. Right, US dollar yen has played out that structure. Looks like we are ready now for upside. We've got this move to the downside here. We've got a move down impulse, 1, 2, 3 here. That's the corrective structure. And we are looking for this one to make a move. We're looking for this one to come down here to make this bigger corrective structure. That is an A, B, C corrective structure. We've got an impulse here. Any 1 hour correction will look to retest the previous high here on US dollar yen. All right, so that is US dollar yen. I didn't do the US dollars. I think that's my watch list has moved a bit here. So we should have done that US dollar ZAR. So let's have a look at US dollar ZAR. So US dollar ZAR, this does not look like an impulsive move to the upside, and we'll check the indicator just now. We've made 3 waves to the downside, similar to what we have on US dollar CAD. This looks like it's still going to continue to the downside. This is another pullback, and US dollar ZAR is still going to continue to the downside. And on the 4 hour, this is still showing us more downside if you look at this. So when this corrective structure is complete, we're going to see more downside on the US dollar ZAR. Pound yen. The structure is pretty corrective here. 1, 2, 3. This is 3 waves. So even if we do see this move to the downside, we'll still expect pound yen to continue to the upside. Will it go up in a straight line from here? Doesn't look likely. So we may see one more down here. So we are currently at the top. We are still pretty much around 50. So let's see here. Euro yen. So euro yen also, as much as we're seeing this move to the upside, look at what is happening with the indicator. We are going to retest this low here. We are here, we are at the top. Euro yen should come down to this level. Okay, we'd expect euro yen to come down to this level here. All right, so that's what we have on euro yen. Chief yen. Chief yen, slightly different because we are trading above 50 here on Chief yen. But if you look at this structure on Chief yen, this is what it looks like. We will expect this to come back one more down before we push up higher. CAD yen, also showing downside. We've made a 3-wave pullback. We'll see CAD yen make a move to the downside. If you look at these current scenarios on CAD yen this year and this year, remember how we looked at these moves previously? We had similar moves here, back here. Last time when we were here, when we had this impulse, let me show this here on the full screen so you can see the similarities here. I want to have the indicator as well here. So let's just make this one a little bit small. This is CAD yen. Now, previously on CAD yen, when we had this pulsing move to the upside, naturally, we would expect to see a corrective structure and a continuation to the upside. Okay, so with that, we were right at the top here. We were right here at the top, and this looked like a setup for downside. Okay, so we were looking for upside. So we could not take upside here with this at the top and this one slightly at 50. So we were bullish on this. So if we look at this here, This is where we started looking for trade setups to the downside, because at that point, we are right here at the top, we're making a corrective structure. It was not bullish and the RSI stayed below 50. So that's why we said we are going to sell this back to this level. Okay, we got the trade here down to this level. Now, at around these levels, we started getting a push to the upside. So that push to the upside, we were looking for it to be a three-wave corrective structure like that. So when that made a move like that here, look at where the stock was. The stock was here. The RSI hardly ever made a move above 50. So with that, we said we expected this to still continue to the downside. And as it was doing that, we were even looking at this to be now making a blue box area here. So that's when we started looking for upside here. Now, if you look at this current structure here, it's exactly the same scenario that we were in when we were here, as well when we were here, as well as when we were here. Okay. Now we are currently making a pullback here. We are at the top and we're still just below 50. Now, any 1 hour close below the flag here will get us back to around these levels here again. Okay, doesn't look like we're going to have that bullish move that we're expecting, and should be the case for all the US dollar pairs as well. So let's see what we're going to get there. Let me just go back one on euro and look at the structure as well. Let's go back on the euro as well. All of them. Let's have a look at all of them. So will pound will continue to push to the upside. Right, so we've got this one here, we've got this one here, we've got this one here, we've got this one here. So pound yen may give us a structure like this. We've already looked at that, so may get a pullback down here. Euro yen. I'm just repeating this now, looking at the indicator. I didn't show the indicators on that one. Right, euro, as you can see here, we've got a pullback in 3. We are currently here, we're currently here. I'll expect the euro to come down here. Same as chief. Chief is slightly trading above 50. We're looking at that, and then downside. Okay, we've just gone through that. So New Zealand, let's have a look. New Zealand continues to trade higher. Looking at this, this is what we had on Monday. We're here on Monday looking for the, my mouse here is not playing out properly. So we had a pulsing move here on the New Zealand, looking for this one to continue to the upside. This can be a three-wave move. So it has to go up to 1,618 for us to confirm that it's not going to be a simple three-wave structure that will continue to the downside. Audi yen. We have been bullish Audi yen since Monday with the RBA rate announcement. So we're still looking for this to continue up higher. Gold. Gold is not going anywhere. We are still looking for this to come down here. So we've made this move here. We're still looking for this to come down here. Remember, the structure that we're looking at on gold is this one here. Let's draw it properly. 1, 2, 3. We're looking for this to be 1, 2, 3. Then around this level, we'll expect a bounce on gold. Silver. Silver has made a three-wave structure here. Should continue to the downside. We expected silver to make a three-wave structure here and continue to the downside. That's what's happening. Platinum. We're still here. 1, 2, 3. Every continuation pattern, we've been looking for this to be bearish. Now we have just broken lower than this. We thought that there was a possibility for this to make a flat. Doesn't look like that will be a flat because this is impulsive. Now any continuation pattern here means that structural area, that structure will be invalidated, and we're going to see more downside on platinum. So all the commodities, the hard commodities, are looking bearish rather, including oil. Let's have a look at oil. Oil yesterday, we're looking for this to make at least a 3-wave pullback here and a move to the downside. So far, we still only have an impulse. So we have not gotten that pullback here on oil. So let's see what happens when we get to this level. But essentially on oil, we are within this corrective structure. We need to see this structure. Just need to see this corrective structure being filled up. When it's done, then we'll resume upside. Pound CAD. So pound CAD still bullish since we got this one around here on Monday, looking for more upside. This is a pullback. It's a resetting again. You'll see more upside. The reason why we expected more upside here was the structure, as well as the reset, as well as this being above 50 and the candle closing above the flex. So that's why that pushed up higher. Pound Audi. Right, so pound Audi, we have been bullish on the Audi since Monday. Let's have a look at pound Audi. So since Monday, before the RBA announcement, we have been bullish Audi. So we expected pound Audi to be bearish with the rate announcement. So we are basically sideways with this structure. We'll expect this to continue to the downside when this corrective structure is done. So let's have a look at it on the 1 hour because it looks incomplete. It also does not look so aggressive. Let's have a look here. So we've got to move to the upside. We want to see what's going to happen with this structure. It is still incomplete. We may see this one make a move to the downside. That will complete this 1, 2, 3. So we can get a bounce from that level. We can get a bounce here and continue to the downside. So for now, let's see this one come down. We are still bearish pound, Audi. The Audi, we're still expecting strength. New Zealand, yen, or rather pound New Zealand, expect this to do this. Now, if you look at the internal structure here, this looks like a 3-wave structure here. 1, 2, 3. We expect a push to the downside and a bounce. If we get that bounce, that will be a continuation pattern for more downside on pound New Zealand. Pound Chief. So pound Chief, let's go back to the 4 hour. So pound Chief, from the top here, we wanted to see a corrective structure for more upside. Instead, we have not gotten that move. This is a corrective structure that we're getting. So it's still showing us continuation to the downside. We'll see this one retest this low here again. So let's see how that goes. That is pound Chief. Euro pound. Euro pound, expect this to come around these levels, maybe a bounce here. That is what we have been looking for on Euro pounds, because it started here with 3 waves down, and we looked at this. This is how we've been looking at this structure ever since it started playing out. That we've got a 3-wave structure here, 1, 2, 3. We've got this 3-wave structure here in red, and we're expecting this to be another 3-wave structure. So a bounce here is possible, and then we make a move to the downside here. Then we'll expect that to bounce from that level. Right, so that is Euro pound. So now on the pound pairs, we are still looking for this to continue to the downside. So that means there's still some strength on the pound pairs. But the pound Audi is weak because of the strength in the Audi. Euro New Zealand. Still bearish. expect it to get to around this level at least. Euro Audi. The same, we're expecting Euro Audi to come around this level. This we forecasted from Monday before the RPA. So expected this one to come down here. We are currently coming down with that move here on Euro Audi. It's not coming down in a straight line, and you will keep getting the pullbacks. So pullbacks are normal. Pullbacks are normal. We're looking for this to come down to this level. EuroCAD. EuroCAD, expect more downside. We've made a pulsing move to the downside. This is now a three-wave pullback. Expect EuroCAD to continue lower here. EuroChief, sell again, showing us a sell setup here again. We'll look for more downside here. Audi New Zealand, still bearish, nothing new there. We're still bearish here, since this corrective structure here. Audi CAD, let's see here. Audi CAD, we had a pulsing move. We made a pulsing move back here. Will this just continue to the upside, or will it give us a three-wave structure before it pushes up? So let's wait for this structure to build here on Audi CAD. Audi Chief, still pushing to the upside, but it's not pushing up aggressively, so we can get to around this level where we can have this one continuing to the downside around these levels. If you look at the indicator here, looks like we're still going to see more downside there. New Zealand CAD. New Zealand CAD showing continuation to the upside. We are resetting with the RSI well above 50, so this can continue to the upside here. New Zealand Chief. Expect upside here, but not necessarily a trade there. CAD Chief, we expected a bounce from this three-wave structure here, but that bounce is not coming aggressively. And if you look at this, that is capping it to the downside. So we're going to expect this to continue to the downside. Right, let's go to the indices. So we have been here in this corrective structure yesterday. We did not break out. We are still above 50. We are still resetting. Even if we do get one move to the downside, we are still expecting this to continue up higher. The Dow, let me look at them on the 1 hour. The Dow as well, we expected this to break out from here. The view is still the same. We're still expecting this to continue up higher. We are slightly dropping below 50 here. But let's watch this. We don't have confirmation as yet, but we're looking for this to continue to the upside. Nasdaq showing strength here on the 1 hour. Trade setup. A candle close above the upper boundary of the flag. It's more upside on the Nasdaq. We're going to see more upside on the Nasdaq. UK 100. More upside. We still haven't got a decent corrective structure, but the RSI is well above 50 on the 1 hour, and this will push to the upside. Let's go back to the 4 hour. But before we go to the 4 hour, let's go look at the DAX. The DAX has made a pulsing move here. 1, 2, 3. Let's have a look at this one here. It is 1, it is 2, it is 3. Now we're looking for more upside. We started with this bigger corrective structure here with the 1, 2, 3. we're expecting a corrective structure here. This is what we have. The DAX is going to continue to the upside. Nikkei. Will the Nikkei start pushing up higher? We still expect a bit more downside here on the Nikkei. One more down here before we push to the upside. Look at the structure on the 4-hour chart on the website. Nifty, after that regular flat, complex regular flat, it is now broken up higher, and that's how we'll be looking at the Nifty. It's upside now. All right. Let's look at the cryptocurrencies. What are we getting with the cryptocurrencies? Bitcoin. We're starting to make that corrective structure to the downside here on Bitcoin. 1, 2, 3 up here. We'll see Bitcoin come down here like that. After that, we'll expect a pullback again in 3, and we make a deeper corrective structure. So you've seen what the structure that we're expecting here in the on the bigger time on the bigger view of Bitcoin. So let's just go back here again. This is the structure that we've been looking all along. Let's have a look. I've shown this yesterday as well. Let's look at it on the daily as well. So we can see why. We want to see a deeper corrective structure here. Whether that corrective structure just goes up to the 50%. We started with these 3 waves here. We want to see that one here, so we can have that. So what that will do is we're going to have this, we're going to have this. So I've shown here a flat here and a zigzag. It does not have to be those exact corrections. We already have this one as a flat, so whichever structure plays out on the Y, it's okay. It doesn't matter, WXY. That is what we're looking at, and that's what we're looking at on this pullback on Bitcoin, whether this will now do that and then upside. We're taking it one wave at a time. We're looking at this pullback here on Bitcoin. Ethereum. Right, looking at the Ethereum. Now, interestingly, on Ethereum, the daily is trading way above 50%, even though we are resetting here. So we can just get back here a pullback on Ethereum. We're not going to get the structure that we expected yet. This is the structure that we expected. It was also one of the alternatives that it can make a structure like this and then upside. But with this structure has already been invalidated. So we are going to expect this to give us a 3-wave pullback and another 3-wave push to the upside here. Let's draw it properly. Got this one here already. We can get another one doing that. So that can be a double correction here. So for now, we're looking at this pullback here. This is where we are. Let's look at it on the 4-hour. So Ethereum on the 4-hour, we're not even seeing. What we're seeing here is divergence, but that divergence will be invalidated if we see this one breaking out here. So we've got a move up here. We're expecting a 3-wave pullback. And that will be a continuation pattern to the upside there. Litecoin, 1, 2, 3, and continuation to the upside. XRP, also showing 3 waves down here. These are 3 waves to the downside. We can have this one doing that, push to the upside, downside, and more upside. What this will mean for the cryptocurrencies, all those structures that we expected will be invalidated. These structures, these flats that we have been expecting. Because if these flats are invalidated, that means we're not going to go down like that. So if that flat is invalidated, it means we've started a move to the upside. So let's wait for these structures here. These structures will confirm what we're getting there. That is XRP, Ripple, Dogecoin. Dogecoin, we're expecting it to complete these 3 waves here. We'll see slightly more downside there before pushing to the upside. So this is 3 waves on Dogecoin, and we'll see more upside. ADA, showing a lot of strength. ADA, we can't look at this as a running flat because it did not break here. So we cannot look at that. So we can say that this has made a move to the upside, has made a pullback, and we are looking at this one to be making another leg up higher here. Okay, so that is ADA. So possibly making a similar structure to this here, like that. Lastly, let's look at Link. Link is showing continuation to the upside. So Link was the only one that did not show any relationship between this structure, because this was an impulse. So it means Link is starting a new leg right here. This is the orthodox low. We've not had any corrective structure. We've got some divergence telling us that we're going to have a pullback here, but that pullback should still be a continuation to the upside. So we are still bullish on Link in medium term. And that's all for today, guys. Please note we will only resume with the LTA tomorrow. Okay, so we are still understaffed, but LTA will resume tomorrow, and hopefully next week will be okay. Cheers, guys. Thank you for watching. Trade responsibly. Cheers. Bye-bye.